First of all, we have here the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. This is, I feel it's a pretty good card that basically indicates that, if your financial situation had been very, very wobbly, if you were juggling multiple jobs, if you were juggling multiple responsibilities, I feel like you might realize last month that something has to give, something has to change, okay? So I feel like a lot of you are employed at multiple locations. You also have a lot of responsibilities on your plate. And as a result of it, I feel that you're going to figure out some things need to be scrapped away. So you might have gone through the whole scrapping away process in the month of January, where you are exclusively devoting your time to one job, one person, one obligation, rather than taking on too many things and not doing any of them well. So you're not typically a multitasker. You like to work diligently at one thing at a time. And I feel like this energy is coming in to corroborate that you're better off devoting your time exclusively to one thing, making sure it's done first before you can jump to the next. So scattering your energy far and wide is not going to be helpful for you. And it was a lesson well learned last month. And for this month, you want to also bring the same lesson into the month with you. In terms of your second house, it deals with your values. It also deals with your financial situation, your finances. We have here the Nine of Wands. And when we have the Nine of Wands in terms of finances, it basically means waiting on some type of a compensation, waiting for situations, money to dispense, like, coming through from an institution, for example, waiting on a payout, waiting on a situation that might have been quite conflictual, that might have been, it might have like dragged on for many, many months. So this is a situation where it deals with workers' compensation, car accident claims, as well as, even financial aid coming through from a financial institution. There might have been some holdup, there might have been some delay. And I feel like for this month of February, something is getting released so that you're actually able to, have that money in your hands. Okay. So it's overall, it's very good. So you're no longer needing to wait. You're no longer needing to do anything else in order to get the money. I feel that it is coming through. Others of you, this is the card where you have a lot of projects that you're working on, little projects here and there. They all add up, and you're waiting for projects to finalize and finish up so that you can get, financiers, you can get funding, you can get even, the compensations for it. So some of you might be freelance people. So you might work on a project basis, on a contract basis. And I feel like you're closing up, you're wrapping up, and you're sending out invoices so that you can be paid for your services. And then I feel that, your financial situation is going to be improved significantly because those invoices that you're sending out, they're being paid. So overall, very good energy. As it relates to your value system, I feel almost as if in the past you might have been put in a situation where you felt like you had to defend yourself. So I feel like a defensive energy associated with this card, those walls are coming up. You're surrounding yourself with these wands ready to battle. It's almost as if you might have been a little bit more touchy. You might have been a little bit more defensive. People might have said something like very innocently, just as a matter of fact. And I feel like you might have taken offense to some of the things that were said. And I feel the walls falling away. The walls are coming down for this month. And I do sense that you're a little bit more, I feel for some reason, some of you might be a little bit irritable last month. I feel like for this month, you're not taking things personally. Okay. So the walls are coming down and you're not feeling as if you're thrust into a position where you need to defend yourself anymore. So you're seeing eye to eye with other people, and you're also allowing that, channel of communication to open up between you and another person so that you can understand each other and understand where, the other person, place their value. So I feel like that's the case here. The third house deals with communication, and it also deals with siblings. First of all, for those of you who have siblings, there might be some type of a trip, some type of a voyage, some type of a reconnection with family members, especially siblings. So this is a situation about unfinished business. It's a situation that we thought we had walked away from. Somehow it's coming back in and it's being brought up for the month of February, where you might have to have some type of an emotional exchange with a sibling. Okay. And then for others of you, as it relates to your communication, it plays out in the same manner. It's something that you thought was done and over with. It needs to be readdressed. So something is being brought back up and you're going back to a situation in order to address it. I feel for some of you, it might pertain to a work environment. It's linked up here with the Knight of Cups, which is in your work sector. So I feel like it might have been, a verbal debate, a verbal exchange that didn't really serve its purpose. It was kind of like, harsh words might have been said to. People got defensive. There were a lot of egos, bruised egos at work. And I feel almost as if something's coming back here for you to address coming through for this month. And I feel that the way that you communicate this time, aim for higher ground, okay? Aim for the high road. Don't fight fire with fire. Don't hit them below the belt. Don't take a cheap shot. You're not ones to do that, Capricorns, but you have a very, very tongue-in-cheek sense of humor. A lot of earth signs do. And you're very smart when it comes to sarcasm and wit. And I just feel, well, do as you may, but I feel like the majority of you guys, you're very, very witty. And the things that you say is like mind-bogglingly witty. And sometimes the audience that you're dealing with, it might just like go over their heads, okay? So that's what I'm sensing here. And so I would advise you communicate in a matter of fact, in a frank, in a very direct way. And I feel like that's gonna get you far. When it comes to this communication aspect of it, that's going to get you further along. So aim for the high road, aim to be transparent, aim to, disclose information in a meaningful way. Aim not to bring up information that might be incriminating to other people, or people might take offense to it. Okay, so just I feel like you can't help but bring sarcasm. That's what I'm sensing. But it's okay. I feel like, you're generally, I feel that, you aim to do the right thing. So I'm not too worried. I just feel like the people around you, some people get it and then other people don't. Like with the sarcasm, I feel like some people get it and then for other people, it goes right over their heads. So I just feel like it's going to put you in an awkward situation. That's what I'm sensing. So just aim for the high road, okay? When it comes to your communication, be as linear and be as straightforward and be as unassuming, I guess, as you can. All right. What's coming through in your fourth house? This deals with family. We have here the devil in the reverse position. So I feel like there might have been some major changes for the better within your family unit. People overcoming addiction, people overcoming like bad behavior cycles even being broken, and that sense of restriction, that sense of stifled energy, that stagnation in your home environment is being lifted. This is also a situation where third parties are interfering in your home life, okay? And I feel like you're overcoming these restrictions, and you're feeling very empowered right now. And you're also in a state where you're starting to make your family a home again, where it's becoming a haven for you rather than a source of contention for you. I feel for some of you, honestly, there might be roommates, people moving in or out. And while you're looking for new roommates, I feel like you're kind of worried about your financial situation. You're kind of worried, like, do I have enough to cover, the expenses? So I feel that coming through for those of you that are living with roommates or living with other people. In terms of your housing environment, though, I just want to say I'm sensing almost as if for the past few months, it might have been very stifling for whatever reason. It just felt very uncomfortable. It just felt almost as if you couldn't really be yourself. You couldn't just go home and relax. You might not even have the time to really go home and get proper sleep. So sage your house, clear out that energy, okay? If you don't know where it's coming from, I do feel it's really important for you to, burn some incense, rearrange some furniture, like rearrange some things in I feel like your bed. Just rearrange something, dust off, the curtains, dust off those comforters, dust off things that have been lying around for months. So I feel like cleaning up, dusting off, getting rid of clutter. That's going to be really important in your home environment. And smudging, saging your house, burning some sage, incense, and things like that. It's going to be really good to revive the aura within your house. Okay. Let me just say as well, I'm getting a strong message here with the mother figure. Give me 1 second. It's linked up right here with the Emperor. So I feel almost as if some of you, not all of you, some of you, I'm almost sensing as if mothers and fathers, okay, so your family life, and I'm going to talk about the mother and the fathers together because the message is coming through. I almost feel like they're stuck together in a very in a very unhealthy way. So it doesn't mean that the relationship itself is not healthy, but they both have kind of like a similar mentality, and I feel almost as if there's a lot of you are very, very concerned about how they're living, about their home environment, about, one or both partners might have dealt with some type of, I'm sensing like unhealthy habits, smoking, drinking, other vices as well, recreational drug use, as well as dependencies that might not be healthy, okay? And I'm also feeling as if they might enable each other. They might not help to empower each other. I'm also seeing lack of financial planning for some of you guys as it pertains to your parents. And I'm also feeling a mother figure who might be dealing with some type of health issues as well. So I'm seeing like, I don't feel like sudden health issues. I feel like more degenerative health issues, arthritis, chronic pain, like chronic back pain, bodily like bruises, or even I'm sensing muscle aches, and I'm sensing somebody is overworked. And so this is something that is coming through for this month. I feel like you might hear it from them. They're physically contacting you, talking about it. Or I do sense like some of you might be very, very worried about them as well. If that's the case, reach out and have a conversation and see if they're okay. All right. I feel it's coming through heavily with the father, but I feel like the mother might not want to worry you. And so she might, keep the information from you. She doesn't want to stress you out. She doesn't want to, you to worry too much. Okay. So contact your parents, Capricorn. Contact your parents. What I'm also getting as well is, I just feel almost like, a very, very authoritative, either a mother figure or a father figure. And I feel like some of you are dealing with the effects of having not having a warm, loving, affectionate type of a relationship with that, that role model in your life. And so you might feel like they were physically there, but they might have been very emotionally distant or emotionally absent. And I'm sensing almost as if, you're in the home that you're hoping to recreate for yourself. I feel like a lot of you are overcoming these challenges. And if you had a specific relationship with your father and it went a certain way, or your mother and it went a certain way that you didn't like, I feel like you're trying your best to create a very loving home for yourself and for the people that you include in your family unit, for your wife, for your husband, for your spouse, for your kids. I feel like you're trying to break these cycles, which is really good. Cycles of dependency, cycles of even drug use, cycles of like unhealthy habits, okay? So you're actively trying to implement this. And I feel like because you're doing it with such purpose, and you also have some divine help, by the way. But I feel that, you know, not to gloss over your contributions. I feel like you're trying your best to create the ideal home environment. You're seeing these patterns within, you know, other family units, and you're trying to break away from that, which is a really, really good thing to do. In terms of your fifth house deals with recreation. It also deals with creativity. It also deals with children. I feel, let's talk about children first, because this is coming through. Your children are going to be well protected. I feel like for those of you who are watching this, you have children. Your children are very stubborn, but they're going to have to figure out things on their own, okay? This is not to say that, you know, practice tough love, practice detachment. I feel like they're very, very stubborn, and they're going to do what they want to do. And I feel that, you know, you can only teach them the proper way to do it. You can only guide them. You can't really force things upon them. And so they're telling you, you know, in the fifth house of children, you might want to take a step back, and you might want to give them the opportunity to make the right decision. So don't try to make that decision for them, okay? Detach a little bit, all right? In terms of recreation and the people that you are dealing with, the people that you might be socially dating, we have the Emperor, which indicates it's almost like, you know, a very, very strong-minded, very intelligent person. And they're going to stick to their guns. And no matter what you tell them, they're going to do what they feel is the best thing for them to do. And so a lot of you might be dealing with somebody who is might be dating somebody who is in a position of authority. I feel almost as if they are somebody that other people look up to, admire greatly. They're in a position of status and authority, and they have great command. When they talk, other people listen. And I'm sensing that, you know, the people that you're dating socially, you can get a lot of insights from them just by interacting with them, like having a conversation with them. You can glean a lot of good insights and a lot of good wisdom. And I feel that you're generally dealing with people that are very straightforward, very honest, very sincere. They know how to, they're very responsible too, but they know that life is about, you know, oftentimes we have to make the hard decisions, and the hard decisions sometimes don't make us very popular people, because there's always going to be opposition. But I feel like they're approaching this from a moral standpoint. And so I feel like you're very proud of the people that you're interacting with, because you know that they have a strong sense of moral integrity. Okay. So a very, very good card altogether. I'm going to see, I feel like for some of you, in terms of how you entertain yourself, in terms of how you have fun, I feel almost like you might have grown up in a very stern household, for example, and the things that you do to have fun was more about, you know, practical, which is like doing homework with a sibling. You know, that was equivalent to fun. Or like doing recreational activities like swimming, soccer. These are extracurricular activities, but you might not have had time for recreational things that you love. So everything was dictated by the parents, you know, what's appropriate for you to do and things like that. And so I feel a lot of you are making up for lost time. You're trying to find ways to do it, and you're trying to break away from these cycles by, if you have children especially, you're trying to break away from these cycles by giving the kids a little bit more leeway in terms of what they do recreationally. So this is a very powerful card. It's also a really important card coming through in your fifth house, which basically indicates that you're going to encounter some very good people overall. And many life lessons are going to be had by the people that you're dating, through the people that you're dating, okay? The sixth house deals with work, your daily routine, as well as your health. Let's talk about work, because this is a really nice card. Flirtation on the work front. This is what it indicates to me. So it's a nice card. And some of you might be involved you know, in a work environment with a water sign. So you might be literally just working with a water sign. This is a Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio. And I feel like others of you, this card literally can just mean, you know, co-workers bringing you cookies, bringing you snacks, bringing you coffee, because you have a very, very strong, you know, rapport with your coworkers. Your work environment is flowing really well. You get along with coworkers, you get along with bosses, you get along with authority figure. And I'm feeling as well, the people that you're working with can also be very strong karmic connections with you. And the relationship, the friendship, and the you know, the comradeship might last for a really long time as well. Okay, so that sense of camaraderie is it's highly prevalent in your work environment. So this is a really good thing. Others of you, there might just be flirtation on the work front. Somebody's hitting on you. It might be a client, it might be a colleague, but you know, business and pleasure, just be careful. But I do see some inner office like romances, and I do see some flirtations on the work front, which is not always bad, but you know, try to keep things professional. In terms of your health, this is a very good card that basically means, you know, higher liquid intake. So drinking a lot more water, taking vitamins, juicing. You're doing something to improve your health regimen. I feel like a lot of you are drinking liquids for some reason, so that might be like more juicing, vitamins, and all of those things. You're taking better care of your health, and you're being a lot more consistent about taking better care of your health. Okay, so overall, it's a good card. In terms of your daily routine, I feel like you're veering a little bit off track. It's almost like you're seeking more opportunities for recreation and fun, and so your routine is not very rigid. And I usually think of Capricorns as having, you know, checklists, as having goals, as having like agendas for every hour of the day. But I feel like that's not the case coming through for the month of February. There's a little bit more of a leeway, lighthearted energy where you feel like you don't have to routinize your daily schedule to get things done. So you're giving yourself more slack, which is good. This is a good energy for you guys. Also, in the work front, I feel like there's a job offer as well. For those of you who are looking, for those of you who are moving, shifting to new work, there's going to be a new job that's coming into the picture. And I feel like it's a very emotionally fulfilling job. So in a way, you can say that you don't really care how much they pay because the job is something that you love. So you're just going to accept it anyways. So I feel like something is coming through in that manner. But I feel like they can also, you know, pay you quite well as well. But it's just the job that makes you fall in love with it. So I feel like there's a job offer coming through for some of you in the work front, especially for those of you who are looking for new work, okay?